Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate, a very warlike appointment, gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in a grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly deaf. I have words to speak in thine ear that will make thee dumb, yet are they too much light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is, and therefore make your grave straight. The crown hath sat on her, and fights Christian burial.
How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be, se offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath 3 branches. It is to act, to do, to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you, good man Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good, here stands the man. Good. If the man go to his water and drown himself, it is. Will he, nil he goes, mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argo, he that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this the law?
Aye, it's Crowner's quest law.
Well, you hath the truth on't. If this had not been a gentlewoman, she would have been buried out the Christian burial.
Why there, thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves, more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade, there's no ancient gentlemen, but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman? He was the first that ever bore arms. Why, he had none.
What art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says, Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not the purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker. For that framer lives 1,000 lives.
I like thy wit well. In good faith, the gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do in. Now, thou dost, I'll say, the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argo, the gallows may do well to thee. To it again come.
Who builds stronger than a mason? A shipwright or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that, and unyoke.
Marry, now I can tell.
To it.
Mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say a grave maker, the houses that he makes last till doomsday. Go get thee to yon. Fetch me a stoop of liquor.
Youth when I did love. Oh, methought it was very sweet to contract the time for my behove. Oh, methought there was nothing meet.
Hath this fellow no feeling of his business? A sings in grave making?
Customer hath made a property of easiness.
This seems so, but the hand of little employment hath a daintier sense.
But age with his sealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me until the land, as if it had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it. Could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. This could be the fate of a politician. This ass now o'er offices. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, sweet lord? This by be my lord. Such a one that praised my lord, such a one's horse when it meant to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why e'en so, and now my lady worms, topless and knocked about the mazard, with a sexton's spade. Here, fine revolution. And we had a trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more than the breeding, but to play at loggets with him? Mine ache to think on it.
A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why may not be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now? His qualities, his cases, his tenors, and his tricks. Why does he suffer this mad knave about him? Now to knock him about the scone with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery. This fellow might be in times a great buyer of land with his statutes, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. In this, the fine of his fines, and the recovery with his recoveries. To have his fine paid full of fine dirt. Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too? Then the length of breadth and pair of indentures, the very conveyances of his land will scarcely be in this box, and must the inheritor himself have no more? Ha!
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
I, my lord, and of calfskins too.
There are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to the fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made.
I think it be thine indeed, if thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet is mine.
Thou dost lie in it. To be in it, and say this thine. This for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none, neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card of equivocation will undo us. By the Lord Horatio. This 3 years I have took note of it. The age is grown so pick that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel. Of the courtier he gals his kind. How long hast thou been gravemaker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it the day that King Hamlet overcame for me.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was that very young day that young Hamlet was born. He's that mad that sent it to England.
Why was he sent to England?
Why, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there. And if he does not, 'tis no great matter to me.
Why?
'Twill not be seen him there. There are men as mad as he.
How was he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strange?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I have seen Sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How will a man lie in the earth, ere he rot?
Faith, if he not be rotten, before he died. As we have many pocky corpses nowadays that will scarce hold the lane. In. He will last you some 8 or 9 years. A tanner will last you 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that he will keep out a water a great while, and your water is the sore decayer of your horse and dead body. Here's a skull now. Hath lain you in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and mad fellow it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. A powdered flagon on Rhenish off my head once. This same skull, sir, was York's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In that.
Alas, poor Uric. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jests, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I've kissed, I know not how oft. Your songs, your flashes of merriment that were worn sent at the table a roar. Now one now to mock your own grinning. Now get to you my lady's chamber and tell her. Let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's up, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked this fashion in the earth?
In so.
And smelled so. Pah!
In so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander, to find it stopping at a bunghole?
Tour to consider, to curiosity to consider so.